So this is the landing page of our tool. So we start here by inputting our natural language description of our experiment. In this case, I just copied and pasted a real experiment that happens here. And then I will click extract all of information. Okay, now behind the scenes, this initial prompt is passed. This initial experiment is passed to GPT with a special prompt that tells it to extract these entities. And then we give the users the chance to edit those extracted entities one more time before proceeding, just in case something is misspelled or incorrect. Now the quantities must be entered. It's a mandatory field just because it affects the chemical safety levels of the experiment. But we also give the users the option to leave some quantities empty if they would like. And I will click proceed with the analysis and wait. Okay, now the analysis is done. And as we can see here, the original input that we have put is shown. And then these tabs that I will go through one by one. So for the web search analysis, we give Gemini a prompt stating for this experiment, output those 10 titles: the chemical hazards and safety precautions, compatible and incompatible materials, handling and storage requirements, PPEs, and so on and so forth. And then we show the hazard information for each substance that was in the query, sourced from PubChem, and we have links to PubChem for the users to double check or verify the information. So we have hazard statements and codes and flammability information and signal words for each of the chemicals. Third tab is the potential incompatibilities, so a summary of the potential compatibilities from the Braderick's Handbook of Reactive Chemicals, summarized by some signal words that our subject matter experts has curated, stuff like exothermic, danger, explosive, and stuff like that. And then the threshold limit value information. Again, for each chemical shown in the query, you will have the molecular weight, the short-term exposure limit, the 15 minutes, and the 8 hours exposure limit, and any notations. And then finally, the events and lessons learned from our 4 DOE databases. So for each event shown, we'll show the event description and the lessons learned from this event or incident, and then also a relevance justification, which tells why this event specifically is relevant to the experiment at hand right now, just to increase the confidence in why this was chosen as a relevant event to the description. Okay, these are the tabs. This is just some extra information for the users, and then comes the safety report. The scope is reiterated here, and then the chemical safety level for this entire experiment is shown, and these levels are expert curated. The glove recommendation for this experiment, and here we focus on just whether nitrile rubber gloves will be appropriate for this type of experiment or not. This information is from safety data sheets, specifically Sigma Aldrich safety data sheets, and from also a quick selection personal protection guide that we curated in our system. Then listing any materials or equipments in the experiment query, And then again, for the chemical list, for each chemical, the quantity that was entered, whether this chemical is a chelating agent or not, its case number, the relevant safety data sheet, exposure limits, hazard information, and waste or disposal information. Then we generate the activity-based hazard analysis, where the experiment is decomposed into work steps, and for each work step we identify the hazard controls, the risk level, and whether this step is critical or not. Again, potential incompatibilities, but this time it's an expanded version of the one that was in the tabs, where we have potential incompatibilities from web sources first, and then the summary that was shown in the tabs. Emergency actions, lab scale emergency actions from web sources, any relevant ORANL SBMS standard based management system documents to this experiment, and reiterating the previous events and lessons learned. And finally, we give the user the option to download this report as a Word document in order for them to later use it in their hazard analysis procedure. Thank you very much.